Hey, everybody, welcome to From the Ashes podcast. This month, we are taking off the month of August. So I have decided in my genius of a mind to come up and do some, like, I was calling them summer shorts, but I don't think they're going to air until September. So, you know, it's a work in progress. But today I am joined by Arson, Arsonistic Clown, and I am obviously Phoenix. And Arson, how you doing, bud?
I'm doing all right, man. It's been a really busy month. I'm kind of exhausted, but I'm
Yeah.
hanging on there. What's going on there, man? You sound a bit different.
Well, well, that's another thing, guys. Let me just let you know something's going on with my actual mic that I use to record. So, I am using the one that's connected to my headset right now until I get that figured out. And I think it's the cord to my mic, and I'm going to get a new one soon and get it replaced so I can, get that more crisp HD voice. You can hear me like, oh yeah. But here you can't do that. So it just sounds really weird and creepy. Um, but anyways, yeah. So, but thanks for noticing.
It's kind of hard to miss, you know.
Yeah, it is. It is. Um, so guys, today we decided we were going to talk about some more Dead by Daylight.
Again,
I,
because we can never go away from it. We always go back here. All
yeah,
roads lead back to Dead by Daylight.
but to be fair, this time it wasn't me that actually suggested it. So
Yeah, no, this time I have gracefully decided to drag us back here.
yeah, and
For a
it's a
tier list, that definitely hasn't been done a
right.
thousand times.
Yeah, but not by us.
I guess so,
You
but
know,
I don't know. Maybe our opinions will differentiate vastly from the major population, and then
I
everybody will hate us for it.
I think we'll have a lot of the same views. But I also think there's going to be a few that we don't agree on. Like,
I guess we're just going to have to see, won't we?
I 100% agree. So
Because
yeah,
there are some killers here that I have not played or seen them
yeah.
because some are just picked over a lot more than others, and others I could literally care less about. Like they mean nothing to me.
I agree. I agree. There are some that I don't like to play at all, and it's not because they're an S tier. I think they're when I say S tier, they're more of a like. And here we go. I choose my words wisely. They're shit tier. Not like and we'll get into that more down the road. But we might as well kick things off. So we've got this website pulled up with us, and what we'll do is I will share this when I make the video. I will share our final tier list at the end, where our placement is, and so you guys can see it in a wider scope.
And then
So
harass us for the next couple of weeks about it.
yeah,
Better
but
not cry about it. Come on now. We're here to have
exactly.
fun.
All right, so you know what? Let's start from the bottom up. Like let's work from the newest killer all the way back to the originals. You want to do that?
Interesting take. I
I
will
mean,
accept this. I
all
will
right,
accept the terms.
sounds good. All right, so the first and newest killer, which of course obviously the newest one coming out, or it could be out by the time of this airing, is Dracula from Castlevania. But I have not played the PTB for it. I don't know anything about that killer. I've stayed away from it to make sure when he comes out, I will be able to see that. So going backtracking from there would be Vecna, the
Oh, hold on.
DND.
Before we move on to Vecna, I would just like to make a quick note. I have seen some slight gameplay of Dracula, and I'm going to take a shot in the dark. I'm putting him in B tier.
Ooh, a B tier. Okay. I've heard there's some good perks coming out of the Survivor for that. I've seen something about like I follow this group on Facebook on the Book of Faces, and they talk about um they talk about some of the perks coming out for the Survivor side. So and of course I did see I did see Belmont. Of course they're not bringing in Simon, but whatever. Maybe he'll be a legendary skin.
Don't worry. Yeah, they're just gonna slap a legendary skin on him and charge you $20 for it. It's all good.
Exactly. All right, so Vecna. Where we played against Vecna enough. Um,
I haven't. I've played against him a grand total of like at least like 5 times or less. I have not fought this guy that
Hmm.
much.
All
I
right.
haven't actually even played as him. So
All right. So
I
I
mean,
played as him once. At first, that was the PTB, and I actually did install the PTB for Vecna. I wanted to see what all the hype was about. But since then, I don't think he's as good as he once was. I don't think he's. I mean, granted, he's probably a higher tier than what I think, but it'd be interesting
oh,
to
if we were doing a power scaling tier, he would be S tier then, wouldn't he?
probably. Um, I mean, honestly, yeah. But for my personal tier of where the killers go, I would have to say he'd be probably B, a high B, low A.
B, interesting.
So
I don't
like,
know. I feel like he's I feel like he's one of those characters that you have to really play to learn how to do all of his stuff. He has 4 spells, and I guess depending on the random the RNG of the rolls of the survivors on what they get from the
right.
chests, there's a lot of factors to this guy that you have to consider when
That is
going up
correct.
against him and playing as him. It makes for some chaotic fun. I think he's a neat person to go up against from the few times I did, except for, those other few times, because again, I haven't fought this guy a lot, where the person playing him is just a scumbag.
Mm,
But aside from that, I think he's a fine character. I wouldn't say he's B tier. I'd say he's low A tier.
that's why I said either high B or low A. So I'll go with you, and we can say low A together.
Yeah,
Um,
I think low A is good.
yeah. I've played against ones that completely wrecked us and did it fairly. So I would put those, depending on the person that plays it, like you said, they could be above S tier, which would be like God tier, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah. He's a great character. I kind of like his lore, how he is against the entity. He's just biding his time.
Yeah. Oh,
Um,
I
but
love his backstory. Yeah, for that. Yeah, it's pretty
yeah,
cool.
he's great, but he's not the top dog. At
Right.
least, this isn't a power tier. Remember that. This isn't
Yeah.
about power. We're taking a lot of factors into this. Power is only a small part, like a
Right.
minuscule part of how we're doing these things.
I
So
guess
yeah.
I guess we kind of should have explained that a little bit more about what our factors are kind of in this.
Okay,
Uh
yeah, no. We are basically taking a lot of things into consideration, from going up against them to playing as them, a little bit of their lore, their power, and I guess if you want, maybe some of their cosmetics, even though that's kind of redundant at this point.
yeah. I mean, although if, Naughty Bear like
Look, I'm just gonna jump the gun. Naughty Bear is already an automatic S tier, but
yeah, but
legendary skins aren't on this tier list, so
right, they are not.
we're just gonna have to work with what we got here.
Agreed, agreed. All right, so that brings us next to the unknown. Since I kicked off Vecna, I want you to kick off the unknown.
The Unknown has some of the best build up and marketing I have seen to date for a killer. His build up was phenomenal. The whole little tapes and the clues being left behind. I know people have talked about this, and they still kind of do. He is a character that a lot of people were extremely excited for, because at the time they really thought he was gonna bring back the horror to Dead by Daylight, and he does. He still does.
Oh,
His
yeah,
his unnerving look, his theme, the clones, and then if he spawns right in front of you from a clone, that's horrifying in itself. Um, but yeah, everything about the Unknown is some of Dead by Daylight's best work. I know I bitch about the Venom X a lot, and I
mm-hmm.
kind of still do. It still feels a little weird to me, but honestly, it's fine. It's grown on me, and I would like to put him in S tier. Like, people like playing scummy with them. There's always going to be scummy killers. You can never avoid
Correct.
that. Either that or the poor bastard who came home and decided to play Dead by Daylight for some reason. Really wanted to take out his frustration on a bunch of survivors.
Yeah,
But I played him. He is fun. I played him recently, or as of late, because I have not played this game recently, aside from
yeah.
the 2v8. Um, but he is a fine killer. I love him a lot, and I'd say he's an S tier.
Okay, so my take on him is yes, he is very OP. I think his the Venom thing is straight up like ridiculous. So they need to even that out a little bit and give him a little bit more of a waiting period. Like but aside from that, I played him as well in the PTB. I didn't, I've gone a long time without playing PTB, but the last two I actually did. And the unknown was quite interesting. He was really hard to use at first, just like Vecna, because you got all this stuff that you can do with them. You didn't know at the time. I couldn't figure out how to put a clone down, and you can't. But you can figure out like when it happens and stuff like that. I guess there's more to it than that. But I see. To me, I would not go straight up S tier, but I would go high A. Um,
Mm,
because and I say this because and I'm not basing this off of the people who play him because I know we've got a lot of people that are just trash that played him. And one of our favorites, Rosie, plays him. And I've seen Rosie play him like a lot. But neither here or there. I will agree to your terms as S tier because I have seen him at his best. I've seen him at his worst. And at his best, he's almost untouchable.
yeah, I mean, they're like everything about the unknown as a killer is is amazing,
Yeah,
and of course, the unfortunate actress that passed away doing the voice, all that.
yeah,
It really just like I like this killer a lot. Like at first, it was like iffy for me, like the whole Venom X thing, but
yeah.
I love this killer. It's very good, very Dead by Daylight material.
Agreed, agreed.
Um, because the the unknown is a concept given form,
Yeah.
and there's nothing more there's nothing more terrifying than a concept given form.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and so yeah, I'll agree to that S tier because I was gonna give him high A anyways. But I think, like I said, given the right person playing him, I've seen him played at his best, like I said, and yeah. So I'm not gonna talk anymore about that. I'm just gonna move on. And so our next one is Chucky.
The one that broke the mold, literally.
Yeah, he did. Um, for me, Chucky, I take that back. I did play the PTB with Chucky too. Um, for me, Chucky was absolutely awesome to play with. Um, he's so tiny that he can hide in plain sight almost. You know,
Yeah, if it wasn't for the fact that he talks a lot of shit.
he does. But you know, I've seen a lot of people run a silent build with him and just absolutely like terrify people with him.
That's me. I'm
Yeah,
some people.
yeah. So I I would like to say I would like to give Chucky. See, man, I love Chucky's lore. I love, I grew up with the movies, the original movies. Not the Mark Hamill remake, but I've
I'm mostly going on the lore for like,
DBD.
them being in the realm
Yeah,
instead
yeah,
of
yeah,
like the
yeah,
lore prior to them. His lore is basically just he chased Andy into the fog and that was it.
yeah. And I'd like to know where Andy is.
It was probably a fluke. Who knows? They never really touched on the whole Andy bit there.
Yeah,
It could have been just a fluke from the entity.
but anyways, about Chucky, his lore, he did not, you know. I think one thing about DBD is they don't like to keep like bring kids into it, even though I mean I would say I would say the Stranger Things stuff kind of counteracts that, but they did bring in the older ones. So that's
Yeah.
uh, but so that's probably why there's no Andy for one. For another, they could have used the adult Andy, but it is what
Maybe
it
later.
is.
Maybe
Yeah.
later.
So where's your final judgment for him? What do you think, or is it my turn?
Well, I would say I would have said B, but playing him is fun. Going up against him is a mixed bag, but it's still fun regardless.
Yeah.
His shit talking is fun. And I mean, he also has Tiffany as a legendary skin, where she also comes with her own voice lines.
Oh, and so great.
That earns a lot of brownie points, and
Hmm.
I'd say he just barely edges to low A, like
Okay.
bottom A.
Yeah.
I think that's his final ranking.
So, and that's the thing is, I mean, I'm using Arson's words against him. We're not using the legendary skins to base this. So,
Well, yeah, no, but they earn brownie points. I mean, and they brought the whole voice actor and
yeah,
everything. The legendary skins I've meant could have been ranked separately,
yeah, they could.
but as a character, but given to how much they add to the character, I'd say for Chucky, they definitely earned some good brownie points there.
Okay, so you've given a nice argument. I was really going to give him a hard B, mainly because of that. Um, because of his play style. Like, look, and you're talking to someone that like pulled Chucky into one of his main character plays, but I also agree with everything else, taking into account like Tiffany and all that they did for this. Um,
Yeah,
I
he's a weird killer to play because
yeah,
he doesn't play like everybody else. He
and
is
it's third
third person.
person. Yeah,
Third person. You're shorter. There's a lot of different things you got to take into account when going up against this guy you're playing as him.
I mean, he's the
Because
first and only true third person killer. You could say the
yeah,
twins, but let's be honest, you can't really do much with you can do things with Victor, but we'll get to him in a little bit. So all right, I will agree with everything taking into account that we could put him at A tier. So A tier it is. Bam. Okay.
or
All right, so and that brings us to the xenomorph.
ooh, yikes.
I've had some really good matches against the xenomorph. When she first came out, I felt like that I could have put the xenomorph up really high.
I mean,
Um,
when the trailer was first released, I know everybody was hyped. I was hyped too.
oh
I was
yeah,
like, no
yeah.
way, they got the xenomorph.
Hmm.
But when it came out, I don't know. Over time, it just it didn't really it didn't feel like anything anymore, really. I feel like this chapter, unfortunately, was a slightly missed opportunity.
Agreed. I do like the queen skin. The
Yeah,
queen skin is
the skins
absolutely
for the
amazing.
xenomorph are great. I love the skins,
Yeah, but
and that they acknowledge the grid xenomorph from
mm,
Alien vs Predator, but nothing came
yeah,
from that just yet.
right.
But
Just yet.
yeah, the skins are great. Um, the lore is whatever kind of I don't know. It's just there isn't much, and then the gameplay is it doesn't feel entirely alien.
Yeah. So I like the map. I like the fact that you can get a key card and open up, but this isn't about a map. This is about the killer, and the map
Yeah,
is pretty good. However, I would have to give, and I don't know if you back me on this. Uh, I would give the Xenomorph C.
I can completely agree with that.
Okay,
Not bottom of the barrel.
right,
The xenomorph being there just alone is a huge thing.
correct.
But gameplay wise and everything else, it really failed to live up to the expectations that
Hmm.
everybody had. So yeah, I think that's the unfortunately the final ranking for everybody's favorite cat dog thing.
Yeah, but yeah,
Sorry
that's
everybody.
that's
Sorry
that's
Xenomorph fans, we just can't do it. Can't go any
yeah,
higher than that.
yep, exactly.
But
All right,
they're not bottom of the barrel, so
that's true. That's true. All right, so that takes us to the next one, and that would be Meatball Head.
Huck, my boy,
Sorry,
everybody's favorite meatball.
I just don't like him.
Really?
Really, really.
Like, do you not like him like cosmetically, gameplay? You
Well, to be fair, he was the first real alien into the game, right? And uh, there was a lot of speculation that he was going to be the xenomorph.
Oh,
You
how
know?
wrong everybody was proven literally right
Oh,
after.
yeah. So when it comes to that, I just I don't know. I like the things I don't. Okay, I think he's very OP because of the cameras. Like and then being able to teleport through the camera or off your back. Like what the freak? I think we faced killers that have played him and we just literally were completely wrecked. Now granted those most of those people are pretty toxic the way they play him.
A competent hooks will definitely wipe out a squad that's just kind of doing whatever.
Yeah.
A good hooks will almost always wipe the floor with a lot of people.
Yeah.
The cameras, the abilities, the pressure that he can apply is pretty stupidly good.
Yeah.
But that's all it is. It's you have to be good and you have to know how to use them. I've pulled off some plays with him, not insanely good like the stuff you see from top players,
Yeah.
but he is a very great killer if you know what you're doing, and I think that earns him some points because I mean it's not like Skull Merchant, which we will get to
Yeah.
very soon.
Yeah.
All right,
Ugh.
Skull Merchant Hux does what Skull Merchant doesn't, and that's at least provide gameplay dependent on your choices. You have the EMPs and you have your teammates. Unless you're solo queuing, there are ways you can fight against this guy. He isn't impossible or entirely annoying like Skull Merchant is.
Yeah.
I
Um.
think he's fine. He
All right.
isn't he isn't big. I'd say he's fine.
So where would you place him?
I would say like right above Chucky in A, but I feel like, I have to take your input into account too, and I have a feeling that he's going to be roped into B.
Uh,
So,
I'm I'm thinking you're right
yeah.
because okay. So here's my argument for this. Okay, you're right. If it comes to people playing him, uh, they are they have a really big start against us. They never first chase. They always go place cameras. Always, which is smart. Okay. However, when you're playing, you've got to realize that the EMPs are extremely vital. I usually, when I'm being chased, I always have one in my hands, and I'm a flashlight user. So to use an EMP above a flashlight where I know I can't drop it or blind him or anything, that's something. All right, but I feel like that people cater to those cameras because once you pop a camera, as soon as he goes in there, he knows where you are, or at least Ben. Would you would agree to that?
I mean, I guess it depends because then you can use the EMP to disable his cameras, and he can see you, sure, but if he's in the middle of doing something else,
Hmm.
it's a team game at the end of the day. As long as someone is distracting him and he sees you working on the gen, if he's smart, he'll go over and he'll disrupt your gen instead of continuing to chase the person he was originally after.
Right.
But
So
again, many situations he could be just hiding somewhere and then, looking at the cameras, doing a quick check on the gens, and then if somebody's there, he'll go there. I mean, that's kind of the whole point. That is his gameplay loop.
I've ran many of these guys, and successfully. Um, but I've also been very unsuccessful. So it just depends. Now, I was gonna go mid B, okay? Um, but I'm taking into account like where we place them, and you're saying high A, you know?
Yeah, I'm
And,
I'm, I'm saying above Chucky, not high
yeah,
A, just
right.
above Chucky.
So if I was to go and balance those out, it would be almost the lowest A you can get.
Mm,
So I would be willing to put him in the A category.
just not
Uh,
above Chucky.
just not above Chucky, no.
I can accept that. I
Okay.
will accept this. I will accept the terms.
However, I don't care what you say about this next killer.
D. Immediate D. There is no argument,
Skull
and
Merchant.
I could care less about the people that do like her. I'm sorry, I can't
Uh,
do it.
yep.
D tier.
I would go lower if I could. I have
Me,
never.
I
I
think you
have
can make a
rarely.
new tier. You can make an F tier.
I
Stuff it.
hold on. Let's. Nope. I have rarely seen a kind-hearted. I've seen out of the whole time that she's been available, I have only seen one time where she played with us, and it was because of me, because of something I did stupid, and she played along, and that was it. Other than that, these killers that play the Skull Merchant, and there may be a bunch out there that are great that I've never come across, but 9.5 times out of 10, they're trash. And I hate to put it that way, but it's true. So
Yeah, I have never met a school merchant that I could really vibe with.
yeah,
It just can't happen.
yeah. And because of that, I'm not spending any time on this anymore, and we're gonna move
Hold on.
on.
Okay,
Oh,
no, no, no. As much as I loathe school merchant, everybody deserves a fair chance. Her cosmetics are goofy,
she's hot.
but yeah, that okay. Yeah, no, let's just jump the gun and just say that she's hot.
She's hot. Like she's absolutely amazingly hot.
Like, okay, she has some cosmetics that are like that, but other than that, some of her cosmetics are fine. They fit her character, I
Yeah.
guess, as well as they can. Um,
Okay. I'll
the
say
fact that
this.
her inspiration for being a killer came from what some comics that her dad made or something.
Yeah.
That was basic. It was a little weird. I don't know. It's her whole reason for doing things the way she does.
All
It's
right.
fine. Right? Everybody's entitled to murder
Yeah.
if they have a decent enough reason to, I guess.
So
Um,
I'll say this because of her hotness, that'll keep her out of F tier.
no, but just kept in D tier.
Yeah. Yep. Kept in D tier. There's no way. Not happening.
But no,
Um.
aside from that, um, I have not played her at all, so I have no points to add into that category either. I don't want to play her because honestly, that gameplay style seems extremely boring to me.
Yeah.
Um, but with her new rework being announced, it's still happening, right?
Yeah. I think so.
Okay. With her new rework being announced, you know, there's that to look forward to, and I can only hope that she is better.
Hmm.
I don't want to completely hate and every killer here, but like she is the worst.
Her drones are the worst, and
And it especially didn't help that people thought that this was going to be Predator.
yeah. Oh yeah, that's true. And I think it was, but it changed really quick.
People thought this was going to be Predator. They saw the skull, they saw they saw the knockoff gauntlet, and people were like, "This was supposed to be Predator."
Yeah. Whether it was supposed to be or not, I just don't like her at all. And if they do bring
Yeah,
Predator in, I hope it's a lot better.
yeah.
Um.
But her rework is coming out, and all I can hope for is that she is better for
Yeah.
you, Skull Merchant players. Or maybe you insane merchant players that just love her the way she is. All the power to you, I guess. But she is in D tier, and there she shall stay.
Yeah. All right, guys. So right now we are at the 30-minute mark, which is literally what we're going to consider a short. So what we're going to do is we're going to call it on this episode, but
Really?
we're going to do a series, and this series is going to be all about the tier killers. The shorts are going to be tier killers, and but and I'll talk to you here about this in a second, Arson. Give me 1 second. But
Okie dokie.
right now we are going to end this short. I appreciate you guys for being here with us. Check out our next short, which will be coming out shortly, haha, after this one, to continue this conversation. So we're going to get it's going to be probably a few shorts out of this. But until then, I want to thank Arson for being here. I'm going to let you guys know if you want to know more about From the Ashes podcast, check out our link. And if you're enjoying this, let us know in the comments. And we want to do this whole tier list. So let us know, and please let us know about your top tiers for so far on this.
Oh my
And
goodness! Why would you put Skull Merchant in D tier? This is shut up! I don't want to hear it.
and any Skull Merchant fans, just stay away.
These are our opinions,
Yes.
and in
So
this realm, our opinion is law. If you don't like it, you could take a one-way express trip back to whatever hole you spawned out of.
so yeah, on that note, we are out, and we'll see you again very shortly. You guys have a good one.
Yeah, have some curly fries on me.